This surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it'd be this big of a deal. Obviously, getting sucker punch, breaking your tooth, and I guess he messed up his $90,000 Rolex. I know Rolex that has to be some sort of weird Rolex. It can't be like a Daytona. I don't think he's into like vintage Rolexes. Some vintage ones go well over 60, 70K. 90K Rolex, it'd have to be some like diamond type of encrusted Rolex. So that's weird to me. But he was saying the Rolex is messed up too.
Yeah, $15,000 worth of damage.
So he must have scraped his Rolex.
Scrape.
Yeah. I was surprised he's pressing charges just from, fighter to fighter. Things happen. And especially since, remember, they go back, man. They were roommates, best friends. To press charges, especially with, aggravated assault, felony criminal mischief, premeditated felony criminal mischief, aggravated battery. If you press charges and he's found guilty, which he will be, he's looking at time, dude. Do you really want to put Masvidal away for, 2 years, 3 years over this? Seems a little excessive. I wish, someone could get in Colby's ear and just like, don't press charges, dude. Don't do that, man. But also for Masvidal, again, same shit. He can't be hitting people, dude.
Especially the sucker punch part. That's
the sucker punch part's weird, but also he went on MMA fighting before and was like, I'm known for sucker punching and this, which is so
and dining and dashing or something like that.
Yeah, it's so straight. That's not very gangster, my man. Whatever you think is gangster, that would be the opposite where I come from, right?
Yes.
And he's from Miami, dude. Mm-hmm. They're pretty rough in the streets there. Nobody respects a guy who's sucker punching people.
No, never.
Another thing was Masvidal, and I like Masvidal, man, so I hate doing this. The other thing is, bro, you got paid for 25 minutes to literally do whatever you want to him, besides illegal down knees or, 12 to 6 elbows. Outside that, whatever you want to do, daddy, you had 25 minutes, and you got paid for it on pay-per-view, worldwide TV. You got your ass whooped. So I could see, if there's like an eye poke or something like Colby cheated or something like that. And Kobe beat his ass for 25 minutes, dude. And then you retaliate by finding out what restaurants he at and sucker punching him. I would respect it more if it's like Masvidal knew Kobe was at this restaurant, was pissed that he was talking about his kids, which Ben Askren did and people have done before. So, and then you square up with him, like you approach him man to man, I'm like, what are you doing? And then you fight in the street. All right.
Good.
Still a little dicey. But, and also you're making legit money now. Masvidal's never been bigger. Even coming off a loss, never been bigger, dude. He's huge. You're looking at 2 to 3 years in prison probably, dude. It's so stupid. And for what? You see, did it feel good to sucker punch a guy and clip his tooth when you got literally destroyed for 25 minutes legally by commission in the sport? It doesn't make sense. Then I don't see social media, so I'm sure people are like, oh, Masvidal badass. This is where it counts. You know how stupid of a take that is? It doesn't count. Anybody can sucker punch anybody. Yeah. I could walk up behind Francis Ngannou right now and sucker punch him. Who gives a shit? That is the most bitch shit in the world, man. Nobody respects that. And if you do, my God, man, what are you doing with your life? If you respect a sucker punch, you're a sucker yourself, man. That ain't the way to go about life, man. It's just such bitch shit. I don't get why anybody in the world would respect any of this. From Will Smith to Masvidal. Because Will Smith basically a cheap shot too.
Yeah.
It's just bitch tendencies, dude. Soft shit. Society's getting softer and softer. Anybody who's sticking up for Will Smith or sticking up for Masvidal, it's just soft beta soy boy shit, dude. Just soft, man. I don't understand it. And Masvidal's been around too long. And finally, dude, you're making money. You get your fight league. You get your tequila. You're on every billboard in Miami. Everybody loves you. I love you. And then you do something like this, dude. And to the point of being a dad, you got kids. What message does that send to your kids? It's so stupid. There was no upside to this. What's the upside, Masvidal? You sucker punched a guy when he wasn't looking, a guy who beat your ass for 25 minutes just a few weeks ago. So fast forward 10 years from now, your kids are older. They go, Dad, how'd that fight with Colby Covington go? There's some bad blood there. Weren't you guys like roommates and train partners? Yeah. What happened? For 5 rounds, I might have won one, but I got pretty beat up. But you know what? I found out he was at a restaurant, and I walked up behind him and sucker punched him. Kids are like, oh, well, that's cool, I guess. And what happened there? I served 5 years. That's why I wasn't around. It's insane. Nobody respects the guy who sucker punches people. Nobody respects the bigger man who slaps a small comic. It's just all beta soy boy shit. I can't vouch for it, man. I don't ride with it.
All right, so this writer for MMA Mania, he brought up something that Masvidal can use for his defense, potentially. It's the mutual combat rule. And the reason why he's saying that is because there was an interview in 2020 with Mike Heck, MMA Fighting, and then this is what Colby Covington said.
Kobe looks ridiculous. It's hilarious.
100%. Me and Street Judas Masvidal are 100% going to fight before it's all said and done. We might fight a couple times because if I see him in the street, it's going to be a fade session. He's going to get put on the concrete. I'm going to drop him on his fucking head and put stitches in the back of his head. It's not going to be nice, Mike. I promise you that. And he knows that. Deep down inside, he knows. But he's willing to take a paycheck in the UFC to get his ass whooped because he knows the UFC is going to pay his fucking medical bills. But besides that, if we fight in the street, I'm going to drop him on his fucking head, and he's never going to be the same person again because he's going to be concussed. The concrete's going to mess with him, and I'll probably kick his teeth in too while I'm at it. Just because he's a piece of shit. I mean, the guy's claiming. He's the sucker punch king. He's claiming for being out at Denny's and being the dine and dash king, dude. You're a piece of shit, man. You're dining and dashing on single mothers that are working at Denny's because they're trying to put food on the table for their child, and you're bragging about being proud of dining and dashing on them? Dude, the guy's the lowest scum denominator of earth, and he's the fakest piece of shit. He turned his back on me for money and his management team, and people are going to find out the real truth about him. He's going to get exposed soon. I know so much about him, and it doesn't make sense to come out yet. When we fight, it'll all be built up in the
I think too, but that's a weird defense because
that's like the only thing he could do.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough in the court of law too because he's talking about a street fight, not getting sucker punched,
exactly,
because it wasn't a fight. So technically, I'm sure the defense team's gonna eat that up. Like, yeah, he was talking about a fight. They square off in a fight. Also, if we're gonna go off of what Colby Covington says, or any fighter for that matter. It's like, how many fighters have you heard say, what Sean Strickland say, I want to kill a guy in the ring or some shit like that? So it's like they're selling, they're entertainers. Colby, more so than anybody, talks so much shit to get you to hate him so you tune in to see if he loses. He just happens to be one of the best welterweights on the planet. He's tough to fucking beat unless your name's Kamaru Usman or Hamzat for that matter. But so it's going to be a tough leg to stand on, man. He talks so much shit.
Yeah.
And also the mutual combat legal in Florida. So in Florida, mutual combat is recognized defense because both parties consent to being touched as an understood consequence of an altercation. Both parties must be at fault, and the defendant must not be primary aggressor or initiate the fight.
Which he did.
He's
the primary aggressor. Then
this isn't going to hold up in any facet. Yeah. Man, I just really hope Colby drops the charges. Like, I hope they settle out of court. Masvidal's like, yo, I'll get you a new Rolex. Just don't make me serve time. I got kids, man. And I don't want to see Masvidal go to fucking prison over this stupid shit.
Dumb mistake.
And, at the same time, but again, Kobe talks so much shit. Finally, it comes back to haunt you a little bit, man. But it shouldn't be sucker punch.
That's the thing I hate, yes.
Yeah, if it was a straight up equal fight on the street, like he was walking his car and Masvidal, what's up now, bitch?
It's all good.
You're talking all that stuff about the street fight. Here I am. Mm-hmm. All good. You guys figure it out.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one gets killed. But, I don't want that. But, yeah, go ahead and fight there if you want.